So, have you ever looked around your neighborhood and noticed a problem? Something that just didn't seem right and wondered, hey, how can I fix this? Well, today we're going to dive into a story about a group of friends who did exactly that. They absolutely loved their local park. I mean, the swings, all that open space, the sunshine, it was their spot. But they noticed a problem. Every time they went to play, one of their friends couldn't join in the fun. See, their friend uses a wheelchair, and they couldn't get into the main play area because the entrance was all steep and unpaved, so the park they all loved and shared wasn't really a space for all of them. And this wasn't just some small inconvenience. It was a really big question about fairness, right in their own backyard. Now, to solve a problem like this, you can't just go with your gut feeling. You need a special set of tools, kind of like a detective's kit for understanding our world. And this amazing toolkit, it's called social science. So what is it, really? Well, at its heart, social science is simply the study of us. It looks at how we all live together, the connections we make, and the big systems, like our governments and schools, that organize our lives. The most important part is that it's systematic. That means it's all about evidence and asking smart questions, not just guessing. The historian Charles Beard put it perfectly. He basically said that while other sciences study things like sticks, stones, and stars, social science is all about human affairs. It's the science of people. Simple as that. So this toolkit has four main tools inside: history, geography, political science, and economics. Each one gives us a completely different lens to see the world. And when you use them all together, wow, they give you a really powerful, complete picture of pretty much any problem. Okay, so how does this actually work in the real world? Let's get back to our friends at the park. They decided to become social scientists themselves and use these very tools to figure out why the park was inaccessible, and more importantly, what they could do about it. And each tool gave them a totally different clue. Geography helped them actually map out the physical problems, the steep slopes. History got them wondering if the park was always built this way. Political science helped them figure out who was actually responsible for the park. And economics made them think about, well, how much would a real solution cost? All of a sudden, the problem started to look a lot clearer. So this got them asking some really specific questions. Using their geography lens, they asked, how exactly do these slopes make it so hard to get in? Then, using political science, they asked, wait, who's actually in charge here? And asking the right questions, that's always the first step to finding the right answers. But here's the thing, having all the right tools and information is really only half the battle. The friends realized they also needed something like a moral compass to guide them, to make sure their solution wasn't just practical, but that it was also fair and genuinely good for everyone. And where did they find this compass? Well, they looked at the core values that are built right into the Indian Constitution, the values that guide our entire society. They decided to focus on these four: diversity, which is about recognizing everyone's unique background; inclusivity, making sure everyone can be a part of things; sustainability, thinking about the future; and equity, which is all about real, true fairness. Let's zoom in on inclusivity for a sec, because this one became their main goal. Inclusivity means making sure every single person feels welcomed, respected, and can fully participate. I mean, think about it. A park isn't really a public space if some members of the public can't even use it, right? And this, right here, led them to a huge aha moment. They realized their project wasn't just about building a ramp. That was the what. The why was so much deeper. The real goal was equity. So what's the big difference between equality and equity? This is so important. Imagine you want to be fair, so you give everyone a bicycle. That's equality. See, everyone gets the exact same thing. But look closer. What if one person is way too tall for that bike and another is too short? They can't ride it. Now, equity, that's different. Equity is about giving each person a bicycle that actually fits them. It's not about giving everyone the same stuff. It's about giving everyone what they need to have the same opportunity. That is true fairness. And of course, their vision had to include sustainability. They didn't just want a quick fix. They realized that by taking a simple action, like building a ramp and planting some native trees, they could get immediate benefits, like better access for their friend and even cleaner air. But the long-term goal was so much bigger: a park that would stay healthy and inclusive for kids for years and years to come. Okay, so armed with all this research and guided by these amazing values, the friends were finally ready to move from just having an idea to actually taking action. They were ready to step up and be the responsible, active citizens they knew they could be.
Because that's the whole point, isn't it? The knowledge we get from social science isn't just for passing tests. It becomes truly powerful when we use it to make our voices heard, to participate in our democracy, and to make our communities better.
So they put everything together into a petition for their local council. And just look at how they structured it. It's brilliant. First, they stated the problem, plain and simple. Then they backed it up with hard evidence from their geography and political science research. They proposed a solution that was cost-effective, and they wrapped the entire thing in that core value of creating an equitable and inclusive space. This is what social science in action looks like. Now, this story isn't just about a group of friends in a park. It's really a blueprint. What it shows is that every single one of us, you, me, everyone, has the power to be a social scientist. Your neighborhood, your school, your community, that's your classroom.
And the process, it's actually pretty simple, but it's so powerful. It all starts with observation, just noticing something that isn't quite right. Then it moves to investigation, using that social science toolkit to dig in and understand the why. And finally, it leads to action, using what you've learned to create real positive change.
So, I'm going to leave you with this question. Take a look around your own community. What isn't working as well as it could? What could be fairer, more inclusive, or more sustainable? So go on, grab your toolkit and ask yourself, what problem will you solve?